Just going to give a minute for folks to come in from the waiting room. As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please mute yourself unless and until you are appearing or testifying before the board. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing will be recorded and posted to the City of Boston website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm Chair of the Boston Licensing Board, and today I'm joined by Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Kiana Saxon.
Thank you. And as a reminder, please do mute yourself unless and until you are appearing or testifying before the board. Please also ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly when you are testifying. I will call each item in the order it appears on the agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You will then make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the chairwoman and commissioners. Following the questions, there will be testimony beginning with elected officials or their representatives. Please limit your testimony to 2 minutes and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. Calling item number 1 on this morning's agenda, Cantina Hospitality LLC, doing business as Taco Bell Cantina, located at 449 West Broadway in South Boston. Has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above. Restaurant on 2 floors, first floor, seating for 14, service counter, restroom for customers, and kitchen area. Basement, food storage, and prep area. Manager Jamal Mercer, hours of operation 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. Attorney Stephen Miller. Attorney Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioner Saxon, Commissioner Curran. I'm with Attorney Thomas Miller, and also with me is Bill Georges, who's the CEO of Cantina Hospitality, Jim Rooney, who's President, Senior VP of Operations, Arthur Eliscano, who's a District Manager, Jamal Mercer, who's the manager for the premises, Scott Fisher, who's Director of Marketing. We also have our architect, and we also have our General Counsel from Nathan Graff. So we're seeking a common victual license at 449 West Broadway in South Boston. Cantina Hospitality is the proposed licensee. They currently operate, they're New England based, and they currently operate 75 Taco Bells around the Northeast and even a little bit further west. They currently have one in Boston, right off Com Ave up by BU, and have had that for, I think, close to 2 years. And there are currently 7,000 Taco Bells worldwide. The brand has significantly changed over the last decade with many healthy options and many new menu options. And we sent you a couple of packages through Mr. Green yesterday. They're lengthy packages. It does show that we've engaged in a very significant community process, which has been fruitful. The letter that you'd see from me to Haley Dillon at ONS details a number of the things that we agreed to with the community and the changes we made. They didn't like the idea of the name being Cantina, Taco Bell Cantina. They thought that it gave people the impression that there was alcohol there. We took that off. Also, we agreed in writing, which letter is filed with you, and we're saying today that we will at no time seek an alcohol license. Amongst the other things, and I'll try and go through this quickly because it's a little lengthy, that we'd install security cameras in the front of the premises and also in the rear. We'd cover the rear window of the premises so no one can see in. There was a question of the use of the rear area, even though it's landlocked. We agreed to only use the back door for emergency egress, that there'll be no staff members outside having a cigarette or talking, or no trash storage or no deliveries or anything like that. We've also, the franchisee has worked with Taco Bell and vendors to on a delivery system to make sure that the none of the major vendor deliveries interfere with any of the high traffic times. Trash will be stored inside and only go outside when there's a pickup for trash. They've worked with the trash vendor that deals with all the other restaurants in this particular area. They've also changed the request for the hours of operation to 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. The final two issues that we dealt with, and that's the second package that was in front of you, is concerning pest control. There was concern by a few of the area residents about pest control. We've at all our locations used the nationally known Eco Labs, and they have visited the site and given us their opinion. In the other 75 locations, they service once a month, but due to the concerns of the people in the area, we've agreed to have them service twice a month. The other issue that was brought up by Councilor Flynn, which we resolved, or we went back to Taco Bell, and we've worked with Taco Bell. They designed this urban delivery program, which was designed in together with these major delivery services. And there's a dedicated, I won't go into that in detail, but there's a dedicated specialist that works at the store. That's all they do, is make sure that the deliveries are moving forward. They have the technology and a system which controls when these orders come in, and if it looks like there's any sort of backup, they would stop taking orders. The delivery specialist the way the system works, they're alerted that when one of these companies is coming forward to pick up the product, that they go out and do a curbside delivery, so there's no backup. And if there's any sort of backup, they stop taking orders until the backup is cleared. I think that's covers most of what I would like to cover. I would like to introduce Bill Georges, who's the CEO, for some brief comments. Bill, are you there?
I am here.
There he is.
And I want to introduce myself, Bill Georges. I am the owner and franchise manager and licensee of this particular unit, as well as 75 other Taco Bell units in Connecticut and Ohio and New York and Boston. I've been doing this work for 30 years. I'm a day-to-day CEO, and I take our responsibility in terms of how we handle our company in our communities very seriously. Before this, I was a Wendy's franchisee in the New England market, mostly in Connecticut and New Jersey. I've been before many boards, and I understand a lot of your concerns when it comes to a new business coming into your community. I want to reassure you that Taco Bell is a very important brand in the United States today. There are 7,000 restaurants, and it's not the brand that might be on your mind 20, 30 years ago. It is, and that's why I'm involved in it. It is a national QSR Mexican brand, which is now delivering to the communities in this country an alternative to the hamburger experience. So we are very popular with youth and also and people of diversity. As our country changes and looks and dynamics and experiences, we are very much serving them. And so when we first got response back from the community in South Boston, that they had an impression of who we were, I think there was some education that needed to happen so that they understood that we were very well received in many communities around the country. And so we did a survey for the community and found that a very high level of community residents, I think it was over 75 to 80%, would like to see a Taco Bell in this location. And so we understand that, community understands that. We're here to provide you that information so you can make, in our opinion, the right decision. The other piece about us is we are diverse in our own population of employment, and that's very important to us. And we also hire from within, or we develop our people from within. Most all the people in our, and this is just good, smart business, but most all the people in our business have elevated themselves from entry-level positions to manager, area directors, and then presidents or VPs of operations for large numbers of stores. Arturo is here today. He is an example of that. He runs our division in Connecticut and in Boston, which comprises about 37, 38 stores. I would say about, when we met, Arturo was an assistant manager, I think, of the company, and has elevated to a very meaningful and substantial position in the company. We do this throughout our company because it's good business. The people that are working to add value to the business are the people that we want to add value back. I can get into long conversations about that, but that's the primary reason.
Great, thanks.
Our menuing is improved from 20, 30 years ago. We have vegetarian options. We have they're reducing salt content dramatically in the products, and we take the food health and food safety of our business very seriously. And so there is a dedicated set of farms that sell us our food, and that came about a long time ago because of some food scares that happened about 20 years ago.
So I think at best now maybe we'd let the board.
Okay, you want me to stop talking? Okay, fine.
As long, I want you to stop talking as long as you don't fire me.
Okay.
But we'll let the board ask his questions and let some people speak.
Thank you, Attorney Miller. Thank you, Mr. Georges. Chairman Joyce, do you have any questions?
Thank you to both of you for that presentation. Mr. Georges, how many other Taco Bell cantinas or Taco Bells do you own in Massachusetts?
We own two, one in Northampton and one in Boston. Okay. Little color there. Boston does not have a lot of Taco Bells. And so we have been designated as a key developer of Boston going forward.
Okay. And I think I heard Attorney Miller, was it the community that asked you not to go for an alcohol license?
Yes, yes, and I think what set it off, Madam Chair, was that this was originally called the Taco Bell Cantina, which is not the idea of alcohol, but it's the idea that it's an upscale. I think you saw some of the pictures or whatever, that it's not what you would consider a hamburger joint or whatever. It's a little bit more upscale. So they thought that brought up the alcohol issue, and we addressed it immediately, took out the cantina, and have put in writing and committed to you today that we will not seek a license.
Interesting. Okay. I don't have any other questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
Well, what were the hours?
9 a.m. to midnight on Sunday through Thursday, and 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday.
I'll reserve, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Molly Griffin speaking on behalf of the committee. At this time, our office would like to defer to the board's judgment on this matter, but we would recognize that the applicant has met with the community, listened to their concerns, and come back a couple times now. So thank you.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support based on a good community process and good faith compromises on a number of quality of life issues. Previously, the proponent.
What works best for you?
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Previously, the proponent deferred so that our office could hold a public meeting with them and concerned neighbors. Following that meeting, the proponent has agreed to the following. They will never seek an alcohol license at this location, install security cameras in the rear to ensure staff and patrons do not use for breaks to enter and exit. The rear will not be used for trash, storage, deliveries, or pickup. Trash will be stored internally, placed nightly outside on West Broadway after closing and no more than 1 hour prior to pickup. They have agreed to double the recommended rate of pest control in the area. The rear window will be covered to prevent light pollution for the neighbors. Deliveries will be scheduled to limit impact on traffic. A system will be implemented with an employee dedicated to the delivery and pickup program. They have reduced the closing time by 1 hour to work with neighbors and align with nearby businesses. They have agreed to designate a point of contact for the community to address quality of life issues that may arise. On account of these compromises and others, Councillor Flynn is in support and respectfully requests that the proponent be a good neighbor and work with residents on any quality of life issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter today? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now calling item number 2, Galway Inc. doing business as the Harp located at 85 Causeway Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Austin O'Connor to James Roberts, who is present on behalf of the licensee.
Austin O'Connor is here and Jamie Roberts is as well.
Oh,
You're muted, Jamie.
Hi, James Roberts here.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Yeah, we're looking to make Jamie the manager of record. He's been a general manager there for many, many years. I'll let Jamie speak on that, his experience.
Hi, good morning, board. My name's James Roberts. I have been working for the Breyer Group since 1995. I started as an employee, moved on to barback, and then started managing in 1997. In 2001, I became the general manager and been in that position since that time. I spend anywhere from 45 to 65 hours at the Harp each week, primarily doing 2 days and 3 nights on average. Most of my time is spent on the weekends when we have live entertainment and more of a nighttime business. I would say I work 7 out of 8 weekend nights with the occasional one off to spend with family. That's pretty much it.
Perfect.
Well, I can jump in. Other than the change of manager, are there any other changes before us today, or just Mr. Roberts as manager of record?
Just Mr. Roberts as manager of record.
Okay, so thank you for describing his experience. I'm going to ask Mr. Roberts the other manager of record questions for the board. Mr. Roberts, are you a citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
Yes, ma'am.
You've already described your experience. Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of the board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. And I have one other request. We're asking every manager of record to give us a 24-hour contact number in cases of emergency, if we need to help Boston Police solve crimes, or if we hear that a crime is committed in the general area. This, I'm asking people as they come before the board, because sometimes the numbers that we received on the renewal application isn't the person who can preserve video or who can answer questions for Boston Police. So if you could follow up with our office, or when our staff reaches out, it should be someone who at any hour of the night we can get in touch with to put them in contact with Boston Police should a crime be committed in the area, or should we need to get in touch with you to preserve security or video footage.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Councilor Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 3 has been withdrawn by the applicant. Calling item number 4, Servia LLC, doing business as Servia, located at 126 State Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Derek Alton to Diane E. Casey, who is present on behalf of the licensee.
I am present. I am Diane Casey.
Great. Can we go ahead, Ms. Casey?
Good morning. I am the owner of Servia's executive assistant, and I have been for some time. I've been involved with Servia since the initial concept and the build out to the present day, including opening our restaurant during a pandemic. I oversee this licensed business for my executive. I work very closely with Servia's general manager and assistant general manager, as well as the executive chef and the front of the house and back of the house staff. I have a wealth of business experience and superior management skills. I'm present at the restaurant part of every day, and my office is actually located just 2 doors down on State Street if needed. Thank you.
Ms. Casey, are you a citizen?
I am.
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
I am.
And for the record, you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
Not per se. My experience in this field is as I explained in my initial remarks.
Okay, so we have 4 questions we have to ask of any manager of record, and that is one of them. And the answer, would you be getting experience in the food and beverage industry? You have to answer, we can't certify you as a manager of record unless there's experience in the food and beverage industry.
I do not have experience in the food and beverage industry, and I don't foresee myself being involved in the food and beverage industry.
Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of our board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
I am.
Okay, so can you explain to me how you mentioned you're the executive assistant to the manager or something? Could you explain
I'm
that?
sorry. I am the executive assistant to the owner of the restaurant.
Okay. And
our restaurant, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you're there every day?
I am in my office every day, and I'm at the restaurant part of every day.
Part of every day?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that goes to the fact you have experience in the food and beverage industry, that you're at the restaurant every day overseeing things.
Oh, if you will accept that as definition of food and beverage experience, yes, I do.
Okay, Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions? We'll have to follow up. But do you have any questions?
I think we should follow up.
Yeah.
Great.
Would-
Sorry, go
will
ahead, Ms.
you-
Casey.
I'm sorry, will you guys be reaching out to me, or would you like me to?
Who is the executive? Who are you executive assistant to? Is it Derek Alton?
No, Derek Alton is no longer with us.
Okay, is the plan to bring another manager of record who does have food and beverage industry?
We have a general,
experience?
I'm so sorry. We do have a general manager and assistant general manager on site. I believe, I'd prefer not to say too much with a large audience, but I believe that the reason our general manager is not being tasked with this is because of longevity and
Okay. We can definitely follow up with you just to clarify some of the business structure that's going on in the management structure.
that is fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
Thank you.
Great. Are there any further questions from the board? Any individuals who would like to testify on this matter today, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify? Okay. The board will take this under advisement, and Ms. Casey we will be reaching out to clarify.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Calling item number 5, Bertucci's Restaurants LLC, located at 683 VFW Parkway in Chestnut Hill. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Dimitrios Ergos to Martin Mcnally, who is present on behalf of the licensee. Oh, I
Mr.
believe you are
McNally,
muted.
You're on mute.
Let's see.
There you go.
Hi,
Hi, Mr. McNally. Thank you for joining us today. So you'll be the new manager of record at this location?
yes, my name's Marty McNally. How's everybody doing today?
Good, thank you.
I've been with Bertucci since 2010. I started out as a server, a bartender. I went into management approximately 6 years ago. I've recently been promoted to general manager 5 months ago, back in September of 2021. And we wish to just change the license over to my name.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm just going to ask you the standard manager of record questions to swear you in before the board for approval. Are you a citizen?
Yes, I am.
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
Yes, I am.
You did just describe your experience. So are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Not 100%.
Okay. Well, we'll follow up on that one, just so you understand what is expected of you as manager of record. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
No further questions. Thank you.
Nothing beyond the follow-up. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Okay, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item 6, Keshav J Corp. Doing business as Harbor Point Liquors, located at 45 William T. Morrissey Boulevard in Dorchester. Holder of a retail package store all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Prashant Patel to J Patel. Secondly, has petitioned for a change of stock. Attorney Matthew Porter. Attorney Porter.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. So before the board, this is a twofold application. So it's a change of manager and a transfer of stock for Keshav J Corp, which operates as Harbor Point. Mr. J Patel is with us here today. Mr. Patel has been working at the store since 2020. He is now purchasing a share of that corporation and will be taking over the manager role. He's already been there for 40 hours per week at least, and he will continue to be moving forward. There's no major changes to the business, no changes to the hours or the structure or anything along those lines. And Mr. Patel is here today if the board has any questions of him.
Thank you, Attorney Porter. Mr. Patel, are you a citizen?
Yes, I am.
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
Yep.
Do you have experience in the food or beverage industry?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
None from me. Thank you.
Nothing further from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Calling item 7, Witchcraft LLC, located at 54 Salem Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license has petitioned to change the DBA of the licensed business from New England Witchcraft Company to New England Wicked Craft Company. Attorney Marcy Costa. Attorney Costa.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Marcy Costa, McDermott, Quilty and Miller, 28 State Street on behalf of the applicant. We are here seeking a change of DBA. As Mr. Green said, we are looking to change from the New England Witchcraft Company to New England Wicked Craft Company. There were some potential trademark issues with another establishment in New York, and in order to just keep everything nice and easy, my clients are seeking to change the name of the business. There'll be no other operational changes. Everything else at the location will be staying the same.
Great. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you for that explanation. Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon?
None for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals today who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Any other individuals who would like to testify? The board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 8, Hereford Investment Group LLC, located at 279A Newbury Street, holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the DBA of the licensed business to Ava. Attorney Marcy Costa. Attorney Costa.
And Madam Chair, members of the board, Marcy Costa, McDermott, Quilty and Miller on behalf of the applicant. Hereford Investment Group LLC was recently approved for the transfer of this license at the same location. It was previously cafeteria. At the time, the DBA hadn't been determined for the new restaurant. And so here we are today requesting the DBA of Ava. It is the first initials of the owner's children's names and then A for their last name. So that's the meaning behind it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions. Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon?
Nothing for me. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Okay, are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Calling item number 9, Charles Mark Hotel LLC, doing business as Charles Mark Hotel, located at 655 Boylston Street. Holder of an in-holder all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned to change the DBA of the licensed business from Charles Mark Hotel to Charles Mark Hotel and Cafe Landwehr. Secondly, has petitioned for an approval of a management agreement between Charles Mark Hotel LLC and L Manager LLC. Attorney John Aida. Attorney Aida.
Yep, thank you, Executive Secretary Green, Madam Chair, members of the board, John Aida, McDermott, Quilty and Miller, 28 State Street in Boston. Joining me on behalf of the licensee is Mark Hagopian. He is the owner of Charles Mark Hotel, as well as the manager of record. Also joining me is Nair Caspi. Mr. Caspi is here for the proposed management entity, which is L Manager LLC, which is doing business as Cafe Landwehr. Cafe Landwehr will operate the restaurant lounge space at the Charles Mark Hotel, as well as the adjoining restaurant space, which previously housed Aura. Mr. Caspi has 20 years experience in the restaurant industry. He has 2 other locations in Boston, which both hold alcohol licenses. And he has experience operating those 2 locations, and he's looking to open a 3rd here at Charles Mark Hotel. Mr. Caspi, I think he is on. He could fill you in a little bit more about the concept, but it is gourmet casual dining, Mediterranean dishes that will be serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's be a great addition to this location and to the neighborhood. We did receive a letter of support from Back Bay Association, and we are meeting with Neighborhood Association of Back Bay on Monday evening. Nia, do you have any additional comments to add? Maybe tell them a little bit more about your business and your concept.
So you define it perfectly. It's a Mediterranean diner. We have a lot of locations in Israel. We have here 2 locations. This is the 3rd. We have in LA, and that's it.
Thank you. Madam Chair, members of the board, if you have any additional questions, be more than happy to answer them.
I don't have any questions, commissioners.
Nothing for me, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Sorry. Our office would defer to the board on this decision, but just want to recognize their willingness to meet with the community and neighborhood association in Back Bay on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Okay, and just for the record, Attorney Aida, we did receive that letter of support from the Back Bay Association, has been placed on.
Great, thank you. Great.
Thank you. Seeing no further testimony, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 10, Boston Garden Fours LLC, doing business as Scores, located at 166 Canal Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to pledge the license to Northern Bank and Trust Company. Attorney Michael Ford. Attorney Ford.
Good morning, everyone. Michael Ford here, representing Boston Garden Fours LLC. With me here in the Zoom is Fred Starakoff, the manager, as well as one of the co-owners. And this was the location of Fours. They've been there for years. And what had happened, Boston Garden Fours was buying the bar, and a related entity with common ownership, separate entity, was purchased the building. Those have all happened. The construction costs are a little bit more than were expected, and there are also great terms and refinancing rates offered by the institutional lender Northern Bank Trust Company. And so as a result, the entities have entered into a loan agreement, and that loan is contingent upon providing security in the license. Hence, we're here for the pledge.
Thank you for that explanation. I have no questions.
None for me.
Don't either, thank you.
Great, thank you. Any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Item number 11 has been continued at the request of the applicant to continue the community process. It will be heard at the transactional hearing on Wednesday, February 16th. Now calling item number 12, MHF Devonshire V LLC, doing business as Hyatt Centric Boston, located at 54 Devonshire Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to MHF Devonshire Operating V LLC, doing business as Hyatt Centric Boston at the same location. Vincent Ellis, manager, 2 a.m. closing hour. Secondly, has petitioned for the approval of a management agreement between Boston Centric Restaurant LLC and FVH Colby Hospitality Group LLC. Attorney Joseph Devlin. Attorney Devlin.
Good morning, Joe Devlin. I'm a partner at the firm of Upton Cannell in Devlin with offices at 112 Water Street in Boston, Massachusetts. I represent the applicant here today. Also with me is Vin Ellis or Vincent Ellis. He's labeled Vin Ellis on my screen. It's the second screen. Vin, can you just chime in that you're here?
Yes, I am here. Thank you.
Great. We've got two things going on here. First, it's a transfer of the license from the property holding entity that owns the property that the hotel is on to the same company structure's operating entity. From a corporate perspective, this is how it should be, it makes more sense in the corporate structure. The only problem is when they were constructing this hotel, they hadn't created that entity yet. So, and we had to apply many months in advance to make sure we got the license. So they went with the property owning entity at first. It makes almost no difference. They're owned by the same structure. But it wasn't enough to do on its own. What that then did trigger doing both of these is there's a new food and beverage restaurant operator here And that's where the management agreement comes in. Prior to this, it was a company that was running, the restaurant there was Mercado with a K, which was more of a world food, Spanish influenced cuisine. It didn't last through the pandemic, so they're going with a new operator, and it's a partnership that Magna has in a couple of its hotels, and it plans to expand. The operator is Fabio Viviani. He has about 36 other restaurants and food outlets at airports and some other event spaces and casinos. And it's as his name and the name of it's going to be called Bar Cicchetti, which is Italian for to share. It has a more Italian influence. The new management company is actually also owned 90% by the structure that owns the licensed entity. So, and that's a different, before the third party operator was a completely separately owned entity. With all of this comes a new manager as well, Vincent Ellis. He's a US citizen. He's a resident of Dorchester, Massachusetts. He's familiar with the rules and regulations of the city of Boston and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for the service of alcoholic beverages. He's been in the hotel industry since graduating from UMass Amherst in 2008, working almost exclusively in Boston hotel properties in that time. And he's been with Magna since 2018. So essentially a transfer to another entity that's owned by the same corporate structure with no changes to the operations, and then a new management company which will come in and operate the food and beverage there. And the change there will be from a sort of Spanish influence menu to a more Italian influence menu. That's it, and we're here to answer any questions you might have.
Mr. Ellis, are you a citizen?
Yes.
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
Yes.
Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the rules and regulations of our board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
No questions on my end. Thank you.
I do not. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'll also confirm that the number in the application is Mr. Ellis's, 24-hour contact number.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter today, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. I'm Calderon from Councilor Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter today? Okay, board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Calling item 13, Boston Four Winds, Inc., doing business as Four Winds Seafood Grill located at 266 Commercial Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Good Time Hospitality LLC, doing business as the Flamingo at the same location. Tyrone DeStasi, manager, closing hour 2 a.m. Lastly, has petitioned to pledge the license to 266 Commercial Street LLC. Attorney Marcy Costa. Attorney Costa.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Marcy Costa, McDermott, Quilty and Miller, 28 State Street. On behalf of the applicant, with me today, I have Tyrone DeStasi, the proposed manager of record. He is also one of the owners and operators, and his partner, Jairo Dominguez, is also on the call as well. We are before the board today for an application to transfer the license currently located at 266 Commercial Street, held by Four Winds, to Good Time Hospitality, which will be operating as the Flamingo. The concept behind the restaurant is a nostalgic 70s, 80s, shabby chic Miami feel with American fare, neighborhood bar, something new to the North End, to stray from the traditional Italian fare and bring you that neighborhood cozy bar that you are looking for at the end of a great day. The license currently has a 2 a.m. closing hour, and we are seeking to keep that. The hours of operation at opening will be 4 p.m. until closing, 7 days a week, with the hope to eventually open for lunch and possibly brunch on the weekends, depending on demand. With the pandemic, staffing everything, 4 p.m. to close is a guarantee for the operators, but they want to feel out the neighborhood and see how everything goes. There is a 160 person occupancy. There is 75 seats on the first floor, 85 seats on the second floor. The second floor will operate as a dining area and also in the future, potentially function space, which is what it was used for previously by Four Winds. But for now, at the onset, it'll be additional seating for the restaurant. There's also a really nice view up there, so it'll be a great space for them to utilize. Mr. DeStassi, as well as his partner, they have a number of years in the restaurant industry. They both operate and own another establishment in Chinatown, the theater district, and they also have an establishment in Rhode Island as well. Mr. DeStassi has over a decade's experience in the food and beverage industry. He is a United States citizen and a Massachusetts resident. He is familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol. We have met with the North End Waterfront Neighborhood Council on January 10th, and we received their support. I believe that the board received a letter from them this week. Last week, we met with the North End Waterfront Residents Association's Zoning and Licensing Committee. They did show support to the new restaurant. They did ask that we meet with the entire association, and that meeting is next week on the 10th of February. So we'll be meeting with them at that time as well. We're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Attorney Costa. Great job on the manager of record questions and the explanation. Just one question. What is the restaurant that you own in Chinatown?
They operate Rock and Rye, so attached to, it's the management agreement on the license owned and operated by Vigil.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have any questions. Commissioners, do you?
Nothing further. Thank you.
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? No, seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Calling item number 14 on today's agenda, Kimball and King Inc., doing business as Modern Relic, located at 485 Harrison Ave in Roxbury, has applied for a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license to be exercised on the above. Modern Relic is a home furnishing store that is a small eatery at the front of the store called Mod Espresso. The cafe is approximately 800 square feet of the 6,000 square feet total space of the store. Located on the ground level of a condominium building, there is a small cooking area, service counter, storage, and seating for up to 24 people. Manager Marilyn Kimball, closing time 6 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Yes, good afternoon or good morning. I am President Meg Kimball or Marilyn Kimball, and sitting here with me is Richard Ramirez, who is the manager of the cafe.
Great. You may go ahead, Ms. Kimball.
Good morning. Yes, we are applying for a beer and wine license to add on to our current vicular license. Currently, to describe our current business model, we are a furniture store located in the South End, and we have this small eatery, as mentioned, at the front of our store, which makes us rather unique. We are a very high-end establishment. We are quiet. We keep short hours, and the cafe at the front of the store has been very popular. We serve breakfast, lunch, and on the weekends we serve brunch. We are looking to add the beer and wine license just as another nice little amenity, a perk to what we do. We really anticipate not even really serving beer. It's mostly just will be wine and champagne, probably, for an early, we don't even really actually serve dinner. We serve light bites, charcuterie boards, that kind of thing. So it would really, I'm anticipating it being just if somebody wanted to have a glass of wine at lunch or, on the weekends during our brunch menu. There will be no changes required to the current layout of our cafe, which seats up to 24 people right now. We are probably going to continue to stay with our same hours. Currently, we close at 5 p.m. Although I think I put on this application that we might extend that to 6 p.m. But we are really a small little, it's just a small restaurant concept that's very suited to the neighborhood. It's nothing large. We're not trying to get some major dinner crowd. So we will continue to be, a quiet, nice, elegant situation here. I am the owner of this business, will be the manager of record. We have a dedicated manager and assistant manager that are on site at all times. I will be on site virtually every day. If not, my business partner, who is my son, will be. But we are very hands-on owners of this business and understand the commitment to the community and the community's desire for an elegant space, an elegant operation that is not loud or, anything like that. We want to be a good neighbor. We have been a good neighbor since we've been in business since 2010, but we opened in this location in Boston in 2019. We were awarded the best furniture store in Boston right off our first year. Also, we have a partnership with Boston Harbor Hotel where they own and operate a store using our name in the lobby of their store. So we're very attuned to luxury and, a nice, elegant atmosphere. And I think that's all I can say.
Thank you. Ms. Kimball, are you a citizen?
Yes, I am.
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
Yes, I am.
Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yes, I do.
Are you familiar with our rules and regulations and laws of the Commonwealth and the ABCC as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So just a couple of questions. Will you be doing private events in the space or will it just be opened, 7 days a week until 5 or 6 p.m.?
We are currently open. We've been changing our hours a bit lately. We were open 7 days a week. We've gone down to 5 days a week. We probably will go back to 7 days a week soon. We will occasionally do private events, nothing major, but the kind of events that we do. We're currently doing an exhibit for local artists from the SOA community in conjunction with the Van Gogh exhibit across the street. We host occasionally we host events for interior designers and members of the trade. Occasionally when they have, a book signing event or something like that, but always just sort of low key.
And you've been applying for special one-day applications for those special events?
Yes.
And what time do those events go till?
They've been going until 6 o'clock.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Saxon or Commissioner Curran, do you have any questions?
Nothing right now, thank you.
Not at the moment, thank you. Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi, yes. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Kim Crucioli from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant received support from abutters as well as the East Berkeley Neighborhood Association. We would like to defer to the board on this matter. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support as we heard no concerns or issues from the direct abutters or neighborhood association. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Yep, I see a hand raised from yep, you can unmute yourself and please identify yourself before you speak.
Hi. Oh.
Yeah. Hi, Michaela, we can hear you.
Yeah, my name is.
Wait, sorry, hang on one second, Michaela. Someone else had his hand raised. We'll come to you next. Okay, go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, my name is Martin Calico. I live at 481 Harrison Avenue, which abuts the store. I have some questions. How easy is, once this license is granted, how easy is it for it to change the hours? So that I don't mind it being open till 6 o'clock at night, but I would mind it being, I would mind serving alcohol at 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Danny, do you want to explain if there was a change of hours? They have to come back.
Sure, yeah, the applicant would need to file an application to change the hours. Depending on what the hours were, it would require another hearing and a community process.
I also think, they've been very good neighbors, and I enjoy going there for coffee, and my wife enjoys going there for coffee. So as long as the hours are not past 6 o'clock, I would have no problem with that.
Thank you, Mr. Calico. The next person who wanted to speak was Michaela. Michaela Larson, if you want to unmute yourself.
Got it. Hi, how are you? I want to say that Modern Relic has been a great addition to the neighborhood from my point of view. And I think the piece that is lacking actually is if someone wants to come in the 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon and have someone wants a cup of coffee and another person wants a glass of wine, that would be just tremendous. I don't think, having watched them grow over the last couple of years, they're very respectful of the community. They listen to everybody. They have not changed their MO in that period of time. So I have great faith that they would continue to be really a positive piece to our neighborhood. So I'm all for it if we can make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Larson. And I believe Melissa Ellis, you had your hand raised to speak as well.
Hi, I'm Melissa Ellis. I also live at 481 Harrison. And I concur, Modern Relic is a great neighbor and I often am in there. My question is, for private events, are you required to comply with the same hours that you would generally for open to the public on this type of license? So in other words, if the license if the license is granted with the understanding that the store closes at 6, in the event of a private event that serves alcohol, is the store required to comply with the hours of the license?
They could request an extension, but again, that would come before the board.
Yep,
So
the board can grant a temporary one-day amendment to the license for an event that would go past their regular licensed hours.
Okay, because I reiterate Marty's concerns about the hours of operation there.
Thank you. Are there any additional individuals who would like to testify on this matter today?
Hi, this is Ed Marino. I'm not sure how you raise your hand, but I'm a resident at 485 Harrison. Have owned the condo since 2007 and currently reside there now. Modern Relic has been a great addition, not only to our building, but to the neighborhood, and I fully support the initiative here for the license.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. Are there any additional individuals who would like to testify on this matter today? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
These are all of the items before the board today. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone.